but reading your lease is by far the most important thing that you could possibly do. Every single time I get a new case, the first thing I do is look at the lease and see what the rights and responsibilities of the tenant is. So, every single thing that is going to pertain to your tenancy is going to be in your lease. Supremely important to read that. A lot of those things that you should be looking out for, first and foremost, is the amount of rent that you're paying and who is actually on your lease. Leases have what's called joint and several liability. Each person is responsible for their portion of the rent, but each person can also be responsible for the entire portion of the rent if it is not paid by any of their roommates. So it's really important if you're a student to make sure that you or your co-signer is aware of the amount of rent that is going to be paid, to be aware of who your roommates are, and to make sure that you have kind of properly vetted them when you're moving in with someone, because you don't want to be stuck with having to pay the entire amount of rent by yourself if one or two of your roommates just gets up and goes. A couple other things to be aware of when you're looking at your lease, what your lease terms are, as far as like the dates. Most leases, everybody knows, are going to be for a year if you're a student, most likely. But you should always check the terms and see what your lease renewals are like. Some leases renew automatically. Some leases you have to give notice to your landlord if you want them to renew. Some leases renew automatically for a year term. Others are month to month after that, which can put you in a bit of a weird spot. So you want to make sure that you know what kind of and how long of a lease you're signing. You want to know what utilities you're responsible for. Electric, gas, water. Water is usually going to be in the landlord's name, but it's really impossible to know before looking at your lease who's going to be responsible for what. You should also get an idea from your landlord, maybe from the previous tenants and from the utility companies, what your bills might look like. A lot of people are renting in. They're coming in and they're going to start living in their place in move-ins, which are going to be in July, August, and your heat bill is going to be fine. It's going to be really low. And then when December, January, February rolls around, your bill might be through the roof. So you can, contact your landlord and ask them, talk to the previous tenants if you can, talk to the utility companies about what that's going to be, because that can be kind of an unforeseen cost that you might not be taking into account when you sign your lease. Check for snow removal and things like that. You might actually be liable for that. So just check that. Security deposit. Security deposit laws basically are only dealt with after you move out. Once you move out, your landlord has 30 days to either return your full security deposit or to give you an itemized list of what they spent either all or part of your security deposit on. If they don't do that within 30 days, you can take legal recourse against them, but you have to make sure that you provide your landlord with a forwarding address so they know where to send your security deposit, because they can't send it to you if they don't know where you are. If it goes beyond 30 days, you should communicate with your landlord that you want to know about that. And then if not, you can take legal recourse against your landlord for actually more than the amount that your security deposit was. But your landlord effectively has 30 days to deal with all of that once you move out.